This is the time when teams make changes. This is the time when teams decide we might want to go another direction because this is not working out for us in this part of the season, and we're going to do something to make a change. I personally know within this time period of the going into the FIBA break, 8 players has been fired. I myself know of 8 particular players that has been fired going into this FIBA break.
What are you thinking? Yeah. What are you thinking? Yeah. If you wanna know my thoughts, open your ears when I talk. Yeah. What are you thinking? Hey. What are you thinking? Hey. If you wanna know my thoughts, open your ears when I talk. Yeah.
Welcome back to another edition of the Arnold's Thoughts podcast. I am your host, Arnold Lewis, man. If this is your first time, I help athletes prepare mentally for a life of overseas basketball. If you want to play overseas basketball, this is the place to be. But first, you have to prepare yourself mentally in order to play this game. Please do me a huge favor. Hit the like and subscribe button, and let's get straight into it. Man, I'm glad to be back on the show. I had to take like a week off. You know, I had the episodes going, but I had to take like a week off for myself just to prepare my mind, like just get my mindset straight, get my mental straight. I get on here all the time and talk about how everybody should get their mind right and what they need to do to get their mental straight. And I got to make sure that I'm keeping mine in good form as well. Not really strictly on things that are bothering me, but sometimes just to regroup and think about what is important and like where I am at in life. Sometimes you just gotta sit back and adjust where you are at in life and understand that everything that you're working on and putting all this effort for, it is working for you. And sometimes you gotta take a step back to look at all that you've done and accomplished and the steps that you're making of progression as a basketball player, as a person of just growth in general, to see that, you know what, the work that I'm putting in is working. The efforts that I'm putting in there are actually working. And I had a moment this morning where I just felt like an overwhelming feeling for my father. Like my father passed away in 2021. So April 20th, 2021 will make 3 years exactly that he passed away. And it just hit me. It just hit me this morning, and I made a post on Instagram, and I was just saying, "Dear Dad, you know, I'm just letting you know how much you mean to me, how much I'm just trying to do all that I can to make you proud, to do all that I can to be the best man I can be, that what you have put into me, you know, that all the work that you have done to make me into the man that I am today, I'm just trying to show you that I'm doing my best, and I thank you for who I am becoming today, because I know I couldn't have done that without your guidance in the time that you was here." And I just remember just writing the words and typing them out I'm just tears is just flowing down my face, because it just hit me in reverence of how much this man has meant to me in my life and how much he contributed to all the successes that I have in my life right now. I get to think about it. I'm playing a professional sport. I'm 10 plus years in. I'm broke records. I've traveled the world. I'm really living the dream that I said that I wanted to do since I was a little kid. And I know I couldn't have gotten here without some of the sacrifices, and not even sacrifices, just some of the steps that he took towards allowing this to happen for me. I specifically remember a lot of times all the stuff that I went through as far as AAUs and going to the gym and making sure I got extra shots up, and like coming picking me up late nights and buying me a goal to build up and just be able to get extra shots up in the driveway. And all those moments just came back full circle and just started. It hit me in that moment this morning. And I was just so grateful and happy for that moment that I got to just feel what it felt to have someone that poured into me so much and contributed to my game right now. Like so much of my game, so much of who I am today is because I've just been getting drilled by his words all my life. Like everything that he's been telling me, everything he's been showing me, everything he's been trying to explain to me, all this has came full circle into what and who I am today. And I'm proud of who I am as a person individually, because sometimes we don't be proud of who we are as a person. We just think that we are just drifting along in this life without no guidance, without nothing certain. And I know I got that guidance. I know I got the grit and the grind to go and put in work and become all that I am today, and so much more that I'm capable of becoming. And the continuous growth all started from the seeds that he planted in me from a very young age. So I thank my father for that. And I guess all that just came to me, and it was a moving moment for me. And I was just so happy and grateful in that moment just to be able to say, you know what, man, thank you, Pops. You feel me? I know I always see, every time I close my eyes, I got the same image of you every single time. And it's always an image of you with a smile on your face, wearing your jumpsuit, getting ready, like you just came from work or going to work, your work outfit, and you got a smile on your face, and you got like something you got your hand out, as in a giving nature, because that's just the type of person that you are. You was always giving something to this life, giving something to someone, giving something to me, whether it be encouraging words, whether it be you down. I never felt like at any moment in my life that if I ever needed something, my father wasn't going to be there for me to make sure that I was straight, to make sure that I was good. No matter when I went through my divorce, when I went through just not being able to play, whatever it was in my moments of my life that I was just at my most down moments, I would say, I know no matter what, I can always go to my dad, and he's going to make sure that I'm good. No matter what he had going on in his life, no matter how old I got, he made sure that whatever it was in my life that I needed, he made sure that I was good. And that's just what I want to be able to give to my daughter. I want to make sure that I pour into her the same way and try to exceed what he did to me, and just try to take it to a whole nother level of what he did for me. I'm going to take that to a whole nother level, so we can carry on a tradition and a gene of love. Like, I want that to be in our DNA. Like, he told me his dad loved him so much, that's why he loved his kids the way he loved me. And I understand that, okay, that is something, a trait being passed down that I want to enhance, so I could pass down to my daughter, so she could pass down in the generations of Lewis. Is their parents, they love them. They're willing to do whatever they can and willing to do all for their kids. There are a family and a generation of love being passed down from generation to generation. So I just had to get that out. I was feeling that because sometimes, I come on here just to release and talk about the life, and I'm just looking around at my life, and I'm just so glad and grateful of the life I get to do. I say it every time I get on here. I get to play the game of basketball professionally. And not just that, be great at it, be good at it, be legendary at it. And I know I didn't get here alone. So anytime I get to acknowledge the people before me, or acknowledge people who have made an impact in my life for me getting here and being able to live this dream, to being able to create this network, to be able to be as expressive and vocal and speak on what it is that is in me that I just wanted to share with the world and give out. I know it was the responsibility of others that they took their responsibility that allowed me to be here. And I don't ever want to take that for granted. That's why I always talk about the game. We can't take the game for granted. Everybody want to work on a jump shot and all this and that. But just being grateful for the game, being grateful for the people that allowed you to get there, is going to help you get to where you need to get to in this game. It's going to help you stay where you want to stay and have a successful and prosperous career, is because you took the time to understand the people that has allowed you to be here, allowed you to play this game. You never want to downplay them, and you always just be, ready to say, what, if it wasn't for someone who helped me, and you be that person for the next person. So we just carry that on. Are you interested in playing overseas basketball one day? I wish someone would have told me 1 year after college I would receive my first pro gig. I wish someone would have told me that having an agent does not guarantee that you will get hired. I wish someone would have told me being cut from a team, because after 10 years in this game, everyone gets cut from a team. Now, after traveling from over 17 different countries and winning up to 7 championships in my pro career, I've put together the 6 most important traits any player needs before starting their career. So go ahead and grab that ebook and get all the information you need today to start your career. Now you can't say no one didn't let you know. So go ahead, grab that ebook and get started so you can become the pro one day. Let's go. But moving on, man, we're going to get into the first section of the show, which is fact over feelings. And the topic of this section is toxic traits. Now, getting into why I say toxic traits, man, we have to understand that if you're around somebody that's toxic, you got to let them go. I did an episode probably like, I remember maybe one of my first episodes that I ever did when I first started, and it was called Toxic Relationships. And it's just explaining how you must keep certain people away from you, because they will drag you down. And I believe in that episode I was like, have you ever tried tasting a little bit of acid? Now, disclaimer, don't nobody try to taste no little bit of acid. That is not what I'm saying. This is disclaimer. Don't no one try to taste no acid, because that is just an example. Point blank period, is a teaspoon or a drop, it's going to do damage to your body. It's going to do damage to you. And that is how some people are in their natural day-to-day life, and you just can't be around that. You cannot allow these type of people to be in your life. Sometimes you got to take a step back and realize who are the people that I'm around and what kind of traits do they exude and how is that rubbing off on me. I go to a quick little story. I got a family member of mine. Heard some very disturbing news about this family member, and it just makes me bring up this topic, because it's like, when will you understand that you can no longer harbor this lifestyle and succeed in life? Not even just, okay, you succeed in the utmost of whatever it is you're trying to do, but just as being a contributing person to this world in your actions. This family member of mine was with another family member of mine, and they was telling me the story, and it went a little bit like they hadn't spoken in a few months. Don't know why. It was very weird, because they were on a custom of being together at all times, always together, always doing their 1-2, planning each other days out, always hanging out. It was like, you know, when you got that one cousin, you're always with the cousin all the time. You're always together. If you don't see you with this one person, you just think like you always contribute them two together. All of a sudden, he just disappears. No communication, doesn't talk to him anymore, doesn't communicate. So you would start to think, what's going on? Like, why would this person just magically just disappear in my life without saying anything or speaking anything? That's a toxic trait. That's a toxic trait right there. You don't give me, you come over to my house, you spend time with me, you rock out with me, you are putting all this energy into me, and then you just disappear. Because of whatever the reason you feel like, I don't have to give you an explanation, which is fine. Maybe you didn't have to give an explanation. Maybe a week later or a week past, he's telling me that he ran into this individual. He ran into the other cousin. Seen him, didn't even acknowledge him. Didn't speak to him, gave him like a little head nod, kept it pushing. So you're telling me after we didn't hung out for a couple, like literally almost a year, 2 years of you always being here, rocking out with me every single day, all the time, you disappear on me for 3 months, red flag number 1. See me out in public 3 months later, don't even speak to me. See my brother another week later, don't even speak to us, and they live in the same house, red flag number 2. And you just don't acknowledge each other? you started wondering like, what's going on? And he started to be like, you know what? I'm glad that you're out of my life, because you don't need that type of person in your life that is going to contribute to it like that. If you're going to be like that, you don't deserve to be in other people's lives and treat them that way, because no one deserves to be treated like that. That is not something that you should be around. Anyone should be around someone just think that they can go and leave as they're pleased and use up your energy whenever they feel. You have to be the guard of your own energy, of your own aura, of your own essence, because people will come in and try to damage yours because they're so damaged in whatever they got going on. They don't particularly care about how you feel, what you're going through, and what they affect with you. So a few days later, same cousin reaches out to the next one saying, hey man, I need your help. I need your help. Blowing his line out, hey, I need your help. I need your help. I need your help. Like it's an emergency. Come to find out, the emergency is because he got caught up. You're caught up and you need me to help you get out of being caught up. That's the type of attitude that you have towards me. You don't speak to me. You don't acknowledge me. You don't acknowledge my brother, who's your other cousin. And then you come around just randomly, and the only reason you are contacting me is because you are on the verge of losing your relationship because you're out here being foul. And now you want to drag me into it because of your toxic traits. And I really don't even care if they figured it out and put it together, because I know when I get on here, I try to speak life into people and speak the real truth from what you need to understand. That's why this segment is called Fact Over Feelings. The fact is, you have too many toxic traits that you must change. The fact is, you can't be around certain people that exude these type of traits, because it is not helping to your life. You can't allow these people to suck all of your energy out of you and be in your environment, because they will only put you in situations that will deteriorate you, that will drag you down, that will make you into something that you are not trying to be by default. By default, you will fall and get damaged by their toxicity, because that is all they have to bring to the table. Why? It's because some people are just so addicted to their vices, whatever that trait, whatever that is that they have, that keeps them being that way. They're so addicted to it, they will do anything to get that, which is tearing you down in the process, pulling you, stealing all your energy, putting you in bad situations because of their vices. That is not a position that anyone should be in. That is not a position that you should allow yourself to be in, no matter if it's family members, co-workers, best friend, mother, father. You can't let someone else's addiction to their vices, because what does most people, when they're in their addiction, they feel like, you know what? I'm not hurting nobody, but actually you are. I'm not doing nothing, I'm just minding my business. No, you're actually tearing down the people closest to you. And you're just gonna continue to ignore that and continue to do it, because really all that matters is your vice. Your vice is the only thing that matters. So you can't allow these people to just, you have to be very attentive and understanding that you cannot allow these people to come into your life, because they're so entrapped by their vices that they will take you down, and they will put all that on you so you can't grow. Because most times when people are stuck in these type of situations in life, they want you to be right there with them. They don't care about you growing. They ain't trying to hear none of this, hey man, let's get better, let's change our life, let's try to change something. You know what, maybe we shouldn't go out every single night, maybe we shouldn't do this or that. I ain't trying to hear that. I like this life. I like my filth. I love what I got going on right here. Pigs don't smell themselves. They like they filth. They like they slop. They love it. They eat it. They swim around it. They lay in it. It don't bother them one bit. It's toxic. They will lay in their waste. That is toxic. You cannot allow yourself. You can't go there and lay with them. You just gotta love them from a distance. I don't say don't love your people. Don't love your fam. Don't love whoever the people, because that's why we care so much, because we have such a loving heart for the people that are closest to us. And these people who normally are like this are the people that are the most closest to us. That's why we feel so strongly about whenever they do or be in these types of situations. But we just have to learn to love them from a distance. We have to keep them further away from us to protect yourself, to protect your heart, to protect your livelihood, literally to protect your livelihood, because really you can try taking a teaspoon of acid. That's toxic. Disclaimer, do not do that. I am not advocating that no one take none, don't do that. It's just an example. You know how the internet is nowadays. You just gotta put disclaimers out there. But that's all I got for this section of Fact Over Feeling. Toxic traits. People are like that you would know. They have these traits. Do yourself a favor. Stay far away from them. Can't have it. You deserve better. You do not deserve that from anybody. Moving on, man. Moving on to the next segment of the show, which is Keys to the Game. In this segment of Keys to the Game is going to be rolling with the punches. Now, what I mean by rolling with the punches, as of last week, or right now, we're currently on the Christmas break. Not Christmas break, but the FIBA break. Now, FIBA break is when all the national teams in different countries get together and play against each other. They do it all over the world. It's like a break about a month. National team players get together with their national team. They play against other national teams. And they got about a month off. I think we had about a month off, something like that. This is the time when teams make changes. This is the time when teams decide we might want to go another direction because this is not working out for us in this part of the season, and we're going to do something to make a change. I personally know within this time period of the going into the FIBA break, 8 players has been fired. I myself know of 8 particular players that has been fired going into this FIBA break. So that just shows you how the game is, how uncertain, how quickly things can change in an instant. You think we got rid of 2 people on our team. 2 people on our team got fired. And we were in second place. I bring up this story all the time. When I was playing in Uruguay, we was going into Christmas break. We was first in the league. I was number 1 on my team in scoring. I was 5th in the league in scoring. And I got cut. This is when they make changes. It's like no one's safe. I know of 8 people, and I had a couple guys reach out to me like, dang, man, this is what happened, and explaining their situation. Of course, 2 dudes on my team, they explained their situation. Another guy from another team, he just randomly hit me up explaining his situation. It's just so cutthroat out here. That's what you gotta understand. But you gotta roll with the punches. So what do I mean by that? What I mean by that, there's certain things that you need to do to keep the ball rolling, because just because it's in a break time and you get cut doesn't mean that the ball stops. First thing I believe you should do is have a strategic plan. The minute they say, hey, we're not gonna go with you, you need to get on the horn. Get on the horn. I use my homeboy for an example. As soon as they cut him, he immediately started hitting up 5, 6, 7, 8 different people. He spoke with the coach. The coach said, if you need a reference, talk to me. I will reference whoever you need, because we decided to change you not because you are not a good person, but we just feel like we need to have a different player to help our team that you just don't fit our situation. whatever situation, he didn't end on bad terms. So with that being said, he has a reference. In this game, you're going to need references from other people. So when you hit up on another coach or something, they're going to say, well, let's talk to your other coach. First thing you do is, okay, hit up my coach. You can use him as a reference. You know what I'm saying? You can start hitting up people that you know. Start contacting. He asked me for my agent. Ask for another person on the other team who they got let go. Ask them their agent because they're working on their player getting signed somewhere else. You just have to get on, like you have to start going. You have to have a plan. Like, I'm not finna sit around. I'm not finna just sit here and wait. They just got rid of me. I need to see what I did. I did that. I sat around and I didn't start making moves. You need to start making moves to get back signed. You need to be playing. You need to be getting this money. You need to be earning, you know what I'm saying? You don't need to stop. So you need to be able to talk and communicate. That's why I wrote the book, 6 Must-Have Traits to be a Professional Overseas Basketball Player, because that trait of just knowing I need to get it going and being able to talk and communicate, because communication is one of those traits that you must have, that you know that you need to be able to say, okay, I know how to talk to this coach even though that we are parting ways. Let me not be mad and in my feelings. Let me keep going and talk to him and see how I can use his reference to help me get another team. Let me start hitting up with other people and communicating with them my situation, where I'm at, who I am, what I can do to be able to get another opportunity. That all comes from how good you are able to communicate your story, communicate what has happened. That is a skill. That is not just something you just wake up and have. That is something that you have to work on. You have to craft. You have to put time in learning how to speak and communicate to individuals what it is exactly that you need to explain to get yourself in a better opportunity. Communication skills is very, very important. You can't afford to not be able to know how to speak to people. A part of having these traits is just knowing how to be a good person, because being a good person, a lot of times teams sign players because they're good people first. And then they let go of my boy. He knew nobody could say nothing bad about him. His work ethic, that's another trait. His work ethic helped him. His ability to communicate helped him. And within, I think it was just maybe a week, he found him another job. He found him another job. He literally took all the steps that was in the book and applied them, because he also believed in himself. Because another part of when that happens, he decided, I'm not going to go home. He had an opportunity to stay. That's because the team wasn't just kicking him out right then and there. He probably had another week, 2 weeks before, and then he had another family here where he could go and spend some time with them and just stay, but he would have been close to the gym. He would have still been in the mix. Because once you go home, it's like you say to your mind, I'm done. And I specifically remember talking to him about this, and he said it. In my mind, if I would have went home, I would have been done, because I would have fallen back into that nature of not playing. I wouldn't have kept that same grind, because I got back into a different environment. Once I'm over here in a different country, other side, and in this environment, it's an environment of I'm here to play. I'm in season mode. I'm in grind mode. So he understood that. Believed in himself, that's one of the traits. Work ethic, that's one of the traits. Communication, that was one of the traits. He used all three of those. Mentor, me, I was his mentor, that's another one of the traits. He took the whole book and used the whole game plan and got himself another job within 1 week, because he kept all these, he applied all these traits to his life and was able to get another opportunity in a time where it felt like, you know what, it might be over with. Because if you would have went home, your mind would have said, you know what, I'm done. Your body would have, it's like when you get into different environments, your body reacts to different things. You automatically know this is not the place where I need to be, and it's just not the same drive. He said I would have went back and went to go working a regular job and stuff, and that wouldn't have put me in the same mindset to be able to keep playing the way I'm playing, or even be able to continue my career, because my mind would have been gone. my mindset for the whole situation would have been done, because I'm not in that situation of I'm playing pro right now. I'm in a situation where I'm going home and now I'm not being able to, it's just not the same drive. So these are some of the things that you can apply and continue and do when things happen. Another player that I was speaking to when this happened, he was talking to me. I was like, hey bro, this country is about to open up. This country is about to open up. Keep the ball rolling. Just because one situation stopped, roll with the punches. What's next? I will say that. What is next? Just because one thing happened doesn't mean that you don't keep going. Doesn't mean you don't keep grinding. Doesn't mean that you don't find out how to find your next situation or next opportunity, I should say. There's always another opportunity for those that go and seek for that opportunity. Don't dwell in your, oh my God, they cut me and I was doing this, and you start feeling you're like, this game don't owe nothing to anybody. It doesn't owe anything to anyone. It doesn't care. It's sad to say, hard to say, but 90% of teams, they really don't care about your situation. If you have a family, if you got to sign a guaranteed contract, like guaranteed means when you sign, they got to pay you out for the entire season. So like right now, guy got cut. There's 4 more months left in the season. They have to advance them 4 months. Don't care. They don't care. We'll take the risk and we'll just figure out maybe how to screw you. Maybe give you a month. You just can't allow your mindset to go there. You have to get, well, okay, boom, I got hit. Pop back up, keep it going. The fight keeps going. That's how you got to look at this game. It's like the fight keeps going. I got another round in me. I got to get it back up. It does not stop. It's like, bro, it's just third round. Hey man, we got 12 more, 15 more to go. I can't stop right now. Just because I got knocked down? No. Okay, this is just, what did I learn from this? What can I take from this? Who can I communicate with? Who's somebody I can look towards to? I gotta keep believing in my heart and my mind. Keep the grind going. Rely on my work ethic that even got me here in the first place. I think I just gave y'all like 4 out of the 6 traits out of the book. If y'all will go pick that up, bro, in real time, this is exactly what happened to allow him to get another job and another opportunity. So that's all I got for this segment of Keys to the Game, man. Once you get hit, keep going. Roll with the punches, man. That's all I got for this segment of Keys to the Game. I wish I had one of those little things where you can push and it makes a noise like, ooh, you know what I mean? I gotta get one of those. I gotta get some little action buttons that make the sounds and stuff like that. All right, man. So continuing on. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling real good because I'm just in a place in my life where I am finding the inner opportunities within myself. Like I'm growing my spirit more. You know what I mean? I'm growing my spirit more. I'm growing my belief more in the things that I'm doing. I feel like I'm in a great place of growth. And sometimes you get in this place of growth where you feel like, does this really belong to me? Does this really belong to me? Am I deserving of this place of where I'm at? And I can speak on that because I'm in a great place and I found myself wondering, dang, do I really deserve where I'm at? I'm caught up. I don't have it's like once you put out all the fires, sometimes it feels weird when there is no more fires to put out for the moment. Like there's nothing pressing. There's nothing pressing you to be doing something at the moment. And I'm so used to doing something that I don't even realize like, hey, you can actually sit back and look at all that you've done and understand what you're doing is actually working and what you're doing is part of the process. You don't have to do anything else. you've just reached another level of where you're at in doing what you're doing, that it's becoming a part of you, and it's becoming such the habit of doing it that it's becoming easier. But it was so hard to you for so long, and like things were so hard trying to balance the social media, trying to balance, making sure I'm giving 120 and doing the extra things to be a pro. I don't just work out like the team. I got to put my extra work in and do all that. So making sure I do my extra work and really grinding and maxing out on all my work ethic and all of that, running the podcast and, being a father from a distance, all the things that it's like every time I have something to do, it's another thing right there on top of my head that I got to get done with urgency. And it's like I've reached a point where these things are not so pressing no more, like so intense, because I've been doing them so much, and now they're starting to become a habit that I'm being able to operate at a higher level. It's like when you're brushing your teeth or you're tying your shoe when you were young and it was so difficult. And you just like, I can't do it, and you're trying, and now it's like you don't even think twice about it. And I think I'm reaching this level of understanding that I am growing, that it became weird to me. It became weird as in like, aren't I supposed to be doing something right now? Aren't I supposed to be working so hard that I'm just stressed out all the time, because that's how it's always been for me? And it's not supposed to be like that, like you're not supposed to just always be stressed out all the time in all the situations. Like it's not supposed to always be like that. You're supposed to enjoy it like, okay, I'm growing, because the things that were hard to me are not hard to me. It's like when you're lifting weights. Like if I lift weights for a year and I'm still on the same weight, it's just like, no, you're going to grow. You're going to get stronger. You're going to be able to, it's going to become easier to you. And I guess I just got, for myself, I got so caught up in just always things just being so hard, and I always got to be grinding, and I always got to be with a million things on my plate, and I got to go to sleep with a million more things I need to do tomorrow, that it kind of creates a complex in you to where you're not really trusting in what you're doing. It's like when you're putting in the work and you're putting up shots and stuff, it's like you start to realize like, maybe you're so used to it that when your shot starts falling, you're like, how? You've been putting in the work. You've been grinding. You're reaching a new level. It's supposed to get easier. It's supposed to start becoming effortless. It's supposed to become fluent for you, because you have worked for this. You have grinded for this. You put the work in, and now the work is showing itself. Like we had a shooting drill today, and I posted it on my social media, and we do this thing called Planitia, where we take 200 shots and they tally up the shots and your percentage. You say, okay, 5 spots around and back, and you tally up the shots. And I shot 79.5%. So I shot 80% for my shots, all mid-range. I am a mid-range shooter. I believe the mid-range is the most beautiful lost art of the game. If you can dominate the mid-range, you can shoot the 3, you can do whatever. If you can have a mid-range shot, for me, is just my bread and butter. Catch me at the midi. I am all day mid-range game all day. If you want to run it, run me at the midi all day. Put me at the high post, the right baseline, and you're cooked. Just had to get that out the way. However, I shot 200 mid-range shots. I shot it at 80%. I don't even believe that's my highest percentage. The highest percentage I think I shot one time, I shot 159 for 200, which equated to 159 divided by 200, 79%. That's what I got to date. So about 80% I shot it at. The highest I shot it at was 171 over 200, which is 85.5, so 86% by myself. And I'm looking at my season because I like to look at the stats and see where I'm at. I like to see where I'm at, and is the work that I'm putting in actually showing up. And I'm shooting. They put a stat out and they put like an article, and I was shooting at like 63%. So I say all that to say this, like the work that you're putting in there is going to show. It's not always supposed to be so hard all the time. What you're grinding for, what you're working for, it's going to show itself. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be able to sit back and look at it like, man, I'm really putting in the work and it's really showing for me. And I a lot of times have to put that into myself too, like, hey, bro, good job. Tell yourself good job. Like I have to really tell myself good job sometimes, like, bro, you're really doing it. Sometimes it's like I'm so used to not feeling like I'm not doing it, and I feel like there's so much more. And then you hear a lot of times these guys who are like pros and they go their whole careers and they be like, I wish I would have enjoyed the process a little bit more. Like I wish I just would have enjoyed it a little bit more. And this is just my moment to say, you know what, I'm enjoying the work that I'm putting in because it's showing, and I deserve for what I get. So when I'm shooting it at an excellent percentage, it's because I put that work in. It's because I get up and I meditate on 250 made shots in my mind before I go out to the gym. I go out and I get 3 workouts in the day. I put up shots and shoot it 80% by myself in workouts. And then when it produces in the game, you deserve that. I deserve that. So it's always good to reflect on those type of things. It's always good to reflect on, like, you know what? I actually deserve to be where I'm at. I don't have to always be so stressed out. I don't have to be always so like, That's all I really got to say, man. That was a good episode. I felt like that was just where I'm at in my life right now. And I feel like, you know, it's just a good moment. It's just a great moment. It's a great moment. Great things are happening. And I had other stuff I was going to talk about, but you know what? I felt like that's good enough for the show today. You know, I felt like it was a great show. I felt like I expressed what I really wanted to express, talked about a few things, and you know, I'm going to catch you guys on the next episode. Keep you guys updated on the life. Keep you guys updated on just what it's like to be a pro and what is the real life of overseas basketball and how we're going to, you know, get to our grind and get to our destination in this career and maximize the most, you know, as much as I can. I never had a mentor coming up into this game, so I'm going to do everything I can to give back everything I wish somebody would have told me. Just kept it real with me. Tell me how you feel. Tell me what you're going through. Tell me your ups and your downs. Tell me about your family. Tell me what's really going on so I can know how to navigate. That's all I got, man. Remember, greatness is a habit, not a right. Till next time. Hey guys, thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe on our YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and wherever you listen to your podcast. I greatly appreciate it.